Good evening, everybody. This is AEW All Elite Women, but I have two wonderful men with me tonight. We have the Z is Silent from Saturday Morning SmackDown.
Penitentiary.
I was so penitentiary. I literally was like all confident going into it, and then I stopped myself, and that was the problem. And then we have Maddog Kelly with us as a not only a news guy tonight, but a special host. So thank you both for joining me tonight. Our lovely sheriff is under the weather. It has been very cold, pretty much everywhere around the East Coast, all the way up to New York where she is. So it's just me and these two lovely guys tonight. And we're going to start off right off the bat. AEW is coming from Austin, Texas tonight in the HEB Center. It is a pretty stacked card tonight. There's some big matches, 3 title matches that goes on, plus a whole bunch of other special events going into Grand Slam, which is going to be on Saturday night. So what do you guys expect to see going into these matches tonight? What is the one you were anticipating the most? Z, any idea?
I guess honestly, Ricochet and Swerve, their rivalry is kind of getting me intrigued. I'm still not a fan of Ricochet's mic work, but they're kind of doing the Bobby Lashley treatment, where Lashley's a good backstage talker, he's a good vignette talker, but in the ring he should not have a microphone, and I think he knows that, right? But in Ricochet kind of has the same treatment. He shouldn't have a live mic, but if you give him something backstage, I think the crowd makes him nervous. Yeah, he can do better with it, and he has been doing better with it. So I was looking forward to seeing what they did as far as their rivalry goes, and then the pretty much the last segment of Cope and Switchblade, pretty much taunting Moxley and the Death Riders. That was pretty much what I was looking forward to for tonight.
Yeah. Well, that we will get to for sure. What about you, Maddog? What were you anticipating?
I was looking forward to a couple things. Obviously, of course, Chris Jericho. Will here. As you, both you know, big Jericho fan, always been. Also MJF. I was really excited for that match, and that match was great. And everyone said Dustin Rhodes can't go, man. He's up there in age, and he could definitely still go. And that was a great match. So, but that's really what I was looking forward to. And of course, just Jon Moxley just taking over this that in the opening promo, and he even said at the end of the show that he is this company.
Starter and a finisher tonight, wasn't he?
Oh,
well, all right. Well, you know what? The first thing that we had tonight was I don't think it's a debut, but we had Max Caster from. No, it's not a debut. I'm sorry. Okay, this is Max Caster from The Acclaim. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. But his debut of being by himself, he comes out and talks, and that was quite interesting. And then we go into our first match. Is that right? Am I wrong? First match? Yes. Okay. Which is the Death Riders versus O'Reilly, Cole, and Strong. And I thought this was a good match. This is one of the title matches that they're talking about tonight. And so if this is who it is.
Wait a minute. Didn't Max Caster have an open challenge with Hangman? Didn't they have a little
He
match?
did. He had a thread made.
Yeah, because Hangman came out, right? I mean,
he did came out, but they didn't fight or anything like that. They're saving it.
They had a whole match.
Did they have a whole match?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
It was
This was all before I was able to turn it on because
Yeah.
we all know I watched the challenge and do a podcast there first. So I apologize. This is why I have to have amazing hosts with me. So thank you guys for keeping me on my toes. If you guys would
Yeah,
like
he
to talk
started out.
about
He started out doing a promo saying he's the best rapper alive, yada yada yada, and then he realizes Hangman's music hits, and then he runs into the crowd and he hides in the crowd, and the crowd literally snitches on him, and they're pointing. He's right here, he's right here, and he's hiding behind a sign,
no,
and then
like a
he
little
runs back
coward
into the ring.
child.
Yeah, and then he runs back in the ring, and the ref doesn't even wait for both men to get started. The ref immediately rings
Like,
the bell.
go.
So yeah, so it was pretty quick. It was
Wow.
literally maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes top as a total segment, but it was pretty
Okay.
quick. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because I turned it on. I think I was like 4 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, and it was the Death Rider match already. So I mean that happened very quickly apparently. So what did you think about that match, Maddog?
It was a quick match, right? I just want
Yep.
to jump in here. I felt like it was very dominant towards Hangman Page, right? I mean, it's kind of how I
Yeah.
felt. I think Page won the match too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he
Going
did.
back to my notes here, yeah, he did. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're building Page up for something big. I just don't know what it is. To me, it looks like it might be MJF. We'll talk about that a little later, but it's looking like that now. So I'm excited for that. I like Hangman Page. I think he's really talented. MJF, also very talented. I'm excited to see if they, have a match. What will they do? How will it go?
I mean, do you think this will be on Grandstand, Grand Slam, whatever, or do you think this is going to be on the March 6th pay-per-view? I forget, what did they call that one?
Revolution, right?
Revolution, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah,
Grand
that's
Slam
right.
on
Saturday.
Saturday, and then we have Revolution on March 6th. So, did we have Ricochet and Swerve come out next after that?
No, I thought it was the trios match, right? I mean, I
And then
could
it
be
was the
wrong. I don't know.
trios
Maybe
match?
Z
Okay.
has maybe Z
You have to
has
let
other
me
notes. I
know.
don't know.
They did right after that they immediately got into the video package of Swerve and Ricochet.
Okay, that's what they're talking
Yeah,
about then.
that's what
Okay.
it was. It was a promo. Okay.
Yeah,
A
and
promo.
then they got into the Death Riders and Undisputed Kingdom match.
Okay.
Okay, well, so we'll start talking about the
Yes.
trio match here, which is going to be Cole, O'Reilly, and Strong versus Pac, yet Wheeler, and also is going to be Claudio. So, great match. I really enjoyed that. Of course, like I said before, I had 2 shows going on, but I really tried tuning into this one. There was a lot of drama, as there always is with the Death Riders. What did you guys think about this one?
It was a decent match. I mean, it was decent for the Undisputed Kingdom, but I mean, they've been
Or
jobbing.
AEW?
They've been jobbing like a while. So to even put them in the same realm as the Death Riders, who's literally running AEW as far as matches go, it was a head scratcher. Ever since Adam Cole came back, I still don't understand what the Undisputed Kingdom's place is. Like, most of the time they're on Ring of Honor and then they show up in AEW, but Adam Cole, ever since this thing with MJF, has had pretty much nothing. And I don't know. It's for me, it's all over the place. I don't like it, but it's good to see Adam Cole being consistent in matches week after week, because we all know how fragile he can be. So he's getting some stamina up, ring stamina.
He's in some airtime. I mean, these are some of the most known wrestlers in AEW in the same ring. So I mean that was pretty cool. But you're right, Adam Cole can get hurt very easily. Wheeler is just teeny tiny. Pac just looks like a robot, and and then we have Claudio the Friendly Giant. So I don't know. It was a good match. What do you think, Mad Dog?
Yeah, I actually was excited for this match, and it kind of lived up to my expectation because, like Z was saying, man, the Undisputed Kingdom, they have been jobbing a lot lately, and they kind of jobbed to the Death Riders, but they also put up a decent show against the Death Riders too. They showed they can go, and it is nice to see Adam Cole on the roster every week. I think, like you guys were saying, the consistency is there. I don't know what they're going to do with storyline. I think he's getting lost in that shuffle, unfortunately. But, I think it was, a decent match for sure. Yeah, I think it
Well,
was a decent match. I liked
you
it.
see a lot of these people going back in between Collision and Dynamite. AEW doesn't know what they're doing when they are. It's basically just a continuation. I feel like Collision is right now, and they're just moving more wrestlers back and forth, back and forth. So it's like 2 nights at AEW, not
It
so much
feels like
different.
it feels like at one point, from the time that CM Punk was in AEW and he was on Collision had a lot of big stars.
Yeah.
They had the better of the storylines, even though Dynamite was the flagship show for 3 years. And now without CM Punk, everything just went to shit. I mean, there's no Young Bucks.
Yep.
Kenny Omega's back, but clearly he's on a reduced schedule, which he should be. No Bucks. Kenny Omega's on a light schedule. Collision is.
We haven't seen Monet really wrestle in a while. We haven't, Brett Baker's gone.
Yeah,
nobody knows where Britt Baker is. Monet is she made a one-time Collision appearance since. Actually, this is her second appearance since she even came to AEW. And that was just to kind of, like you were saying, to move along the storyline of her and Harley Cameron and possibly put some eyes on Collision. But the problem is, and I'm only saying this because I'm a wrestling fan and I watch wrestling every single day of the week. Every day of the week, my TV is literally on Food Network or wrestling. Currently, it's on Food Network right now. But I watch every single thing wrestling wise, and I'm the one person in UPR that watches Collision every single week. And I'm just like, it's good background noise at this point because we don't know what's going on with Collision. But Dynamite is supposed to be the better show, but it's literally on par with Collision.
Yes.
I don't understand it.
They have the same roster. It's not like an NXT, which I was under the impression that it was like, that it was something that we could build off of. But it's clearly not that. It's basically another show, just more airtime. So, and unfortunately, I don't feel like Tony Khan is using his roster appropriately. He has a lot of people that he has not brought on for a while. And then he has people that, he sees every week. Like Orange Cassidy. Where's he been? No idea.
I just feel like
great wrestler.
When we're talking about those people that are gone, right? The Bucks, Jack Perry,
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin,
Everest, right? Crazy.
If we want to have an understanding of where they're going with this Death Riders thing, and still nobody freaking knows. At first, it was exciting because there was the speculation of Shane McMahon, yada yada yada. Okay, cool. Right. I can get down with this, right? And now nobody still knows what is Moxley's purpose. What is the Death Riders' purpose? We don't know. And they want us to believe that AEW needs to be saved. They're not that big of a threat to be being saved from, but clearly these guys who are gone, and which we just mentioned, Orange Cassidy and Bucks and Darby Allin, they're going to be the saviors that eventually have to come and save us. it doesn't
I
make
mean,
sense.
yeah, I think either Orange Cassidy or Darby Allin is going to be one of the next reigning champs. I think if you're looking for future followers, it's going to be Darby Allin. If you are looking for a current pop champion, it's going to be Orange Cassidy. The Young Bucks, honestly, in my opinion, can just go, move on, be done.
No, absolutely not. Never. They're the
This is
one of
coming
the
from
best
the
tag
Chris
teams.
Jericho man who,
Yes,
is
it
still
is.
around
Yes, it
40 years
is.
later.
And he was
Okay.
also in a great tag team back in the day, just like Edge and Christian. But
You know
Adam
what? He has
Copeland,
a great
what's
thing.
he doing now?
Maddog,
Main
he's got a
event in
great thing on
pay-per-views.
Foggy, the band he's in. Just go
Fozzy.
into the Paradise.
Foggy,
Just go into
Foggy,
Paradise,
Foggy,
playing your guitar, whatever he does in the band.
Foggy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's great.
Well, we'll get more onto Chris
Jerry as
Jericho soon. But yes, the Death Riders defeated the Undisputed Kingdom by pinfall and still retain the title. So that was, one of the 3 big events tonight. And after that, we had what do we have? Oh yeah, okay. So going back and forth between 2 shows, and correct me if I'm wrong, boys. This is where Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata goes against Solo, Cruz, and Grillo. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Awkward match.
Yes.
Awkward.
Yes, but you also forgot to mention after the match, Daniel Garcia, I think it was Daddy Magic, and who was
Daniel
the
Garcia,
other
Daddy
guy?
Magic, and Angelo
Help me out.
Parker.
See,
Okay,
who was
what
it? There
happens
was
here?
3 of them, right? Was it Parker?
Yeah, Daddy
Right?
Magic,
What?
Parker, and
What?
Daniel
Was it
Garcia was safe.
All right.
It was
Well, who
Angelo
wants to
Parker,
start
right?
with that first?
Womp womp. I have nothing.
Okay, Mad Dog, what do you have on this?
A guy in Daniel Garcia who was super over is now relegated to Ring of Honor once again. This is Tony Khan's oops, butter in the hands, fumbling again.
Yeah.
I hate, this is the one thing that I hate, right? And before you guys, before I came back to UPR, I was doing AEW review show. But in the comments, they would tell me, Z, you're always shitting on AEW. It's kind of hard.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to shit on them. And so we try to give it an honest look. And then we get stuff like this of people who disappear, even though they had a huge pop, they had a huge following, huge momentum, and Tony Khan sends them to Ring of Honor, where then the internet darlings are like, oh, Ring of Honor's got the best wrestling. Da-da-da. How do we know this? I'm not paying for this. I don't have to pay for AEW. I don't have to pay for WWE. Why do I need to pay for Ring of Honor? I don't need to. And it's hard to believe that these guys, these 3 people, are going to run off the Death Riders. It's not believable to me. I think I think it was a bad look for that whole trios division. I thought it was a bad look. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
So nothing's going. I mean, clearly after the show tonight, fast forwarding a little bit to the end of the episode, clearly we're not still going to have a title change at Grand Slam. If they are mentioning Revolution having a match as well there. So why, I mean, unless they give it up at Grand Slam and then fight for it back, but why would Moxley want to fight for it back? I don't know. So we'll see what Saturday brings. But, okay, so now on to Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is, Papa Bear and his 2 little cubs fighting here. Okay? And he even kind of mentioned that tonight. He mentioned, these are my boys, or whatever he said. But I'm like, are you rearing them in the right direction? Like, what is your point here? Are we trying to develop these young men into, wrestlers? Or are we just, using them as bodyguards so you don't have to get off your lazy boy?
I
I don't know.
think Samoa Joe was just making a statement, trying to, I guess, put the trios division on notice that they are now hunters
Yeah.
and they're coming for the titles. I think that's all that was for. But anytime did you see a graphic like you just put up where it says they're in action,
Yeah.
that automatically we know it's against
In
nobody.
action.
It's against nobody.
Which is not needed. You have a roster of over 120 people that you say were the best
Right. That's
wrestler,
what
and you still continue to give us people that don't even matter.
yeah.
Who
In
are
like
those
3 years,
people?
in like 3 years, two of those people will be on like NXT or something like that, and they'll have a much better outing. It happens every single time. It happens
Yeah.
every single time. Tony Khan will give somebody a opportunity on AEW Dynamite or Collision. One time opportunity, you will never see him again, and then the next time you see him, they'll be in NXT shining and thriving.
Hey, I mean,
He's
maybe
humble.
that's what the deal for going forward will be. Who knows? I mean, I don't think they're in the market for that, but maybe they should. But there were some funny moments in this match where ciabatta bread. Yeah, I mean that's you know what. Apparently, sourdough making bread is really popular right now. Maybe he can get into the cooking shows. I mean, look, Z said it's either on cooking shows or it's going to be on wrestling.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm sure he's
Who doesn't
got
like
some
diners,
good
drive-ins, and
recipes.
dives?
Yeah.
Guy
Well,
Fieri.
okay,
Depends.
so he had some funny lines, Joe, Samoa Joe. He called Christian Cage a chicken ass. Um, he and the whole crowd started chanting it. They were just mocking Christian Cage. And then he also mentioned that he handles his business with violence. Samoa Joe, you aren't fooling anybody. Okay? This is a joke. Hook is the size of a chihuahua, and
Well,
Shibata, I mean, he's probably your number one, but you choose Hook. So, I mean, this isn't the Westminster Abbey dog show. Okay? We have to actually put wrestlers on the mat. And if you're going
yeah.
to, raise them up as you attempted to do with Hook, great. But I don't see that going any farther than what it has. So we'll see how this kind of either develops or crashes. I know, Jeffrey. I know. Sometimes I just get on a rant and I don't even know where I'm going with it. But
No,
I mean, at least I'm honest.
you were honest there.
I was very
Look,
honest.
look, this is groundwork for the patriarchy probably destroying this group, right? I
Exactly.
mean, this all this is. They're just feeding Samoa Joe to Christian Cage, and they're probably gonna end up in a match sooner or later in singles. But you know, I like Christian Cage. Everyone's like, oh, everyone shits on him, everyone hates him. But at the end of the day, I think Christian Cage and Adam Copeland too, and I don't think Adam Copeland's that great anymore, but he used to be awesome. They used to be a great tag team back in the day. When I used to watch WWE back then. They always did the picture thing, but Christian Cage, his patriarchy, man, I love it. Everyone says they hating on it, but I love the
This is
patriarchy. Sorry,
this is literally coming from the man
um
who is a Christian
yes, once
Jericho
again,
guy.
Jericho and Christian Cage, they also tag teamed once in WWE. Go look it up. It's a fact.
Well,
It is a fact.
Um,
speaking of Chris Jericho,
yes. Wasn't that fantastic, Katie? The Chris Jericho thing. His cowboy hat was amazing tonight. By the way, I think
I
that
mean,
was
he's
Brian
no Tim
Keats.
McGraw, but I mean, we can give him a debut light. But it was all because he was wrestling against Bandino. Is that
Sure, what about
right
Kill
there?
Switch? I think he's been hurt. Honestly, I think Kill Switch has been hurt. I think he's been in and out. I think I did a story on it. About Kill Switch being hurt. So I think that's
Oh
why.
wow.
But I do agree. Yeah, cowboy
Yeah,
hat week. No, it was an awesome cowboy hat. No matter what anybody
it was
says,
a good
His hair
cowboy
looked
hat.
his hair looks good.
He
I agree
even
with
had the
Shay. Yeah, hair
snakeskin
looked good.
boots on. I was like really wondering how he was going to
Real
wrestle with
cowboy
these
tonight.
things.
Yes,
I
he
know,
was.
but and I mean, where did they find Bandito? Is he like someone who's on a regular roster, or is he a special effects guy?
Bandito is he's like the main character in Red Dead Redemption, the Mexican version. Because why do we need a Western Mexican cowboy? What is going on here?
This is like the most.
The way you said this, he was great Mexican Western.
I mean, he's not
It is
wrong.
so weird.
I will say, last week when they did the 10 paces thing with that was pretty cool. If they can make that
the lights went down.
They capitalized on it from last week. The lights went down. I thought it was pretty cool. Who has the better Claymore kick, basically? Who has the better Claymore kick? That's what it is. But we didn't get to see it because the bad apple ended up, interfering, which was expected.
Yes. Well, we also had right off the bat, we had the bounty hunter come and get him, and then I don't really know how this ended. Do you guys know how this ended, Maddog?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, clearly Chris Jericho won, but
yeah. And Mexican. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Not going there. Yes, this actually ended with the Outrunners coming out, I believe. And they attacked the Learning Tree, and then Powerhouse Hobbs came out at the end. And that was really exciting because as much as I love, my boy Chris Jericho, I also love Powerhouse Hobbs too. I saw him in action, I think
Powerhouse
twice.
Hobbs too.
On Collision when I went a couple years ago, and I saw him last year on Collision, not Collision, Dynamite. And man, that guy can just wrestle in the ring live. He's amazing. Like, he really is. He came out to save the day here and just beat down on Learning Tree. And you know what? I actually thought the segment was good. I thought it was funny. I think Powerhouse Hobbs is really good. He's great. And, they're probably going to lead to some sort of match between him, Jericho again, or, something. They're doing something more. Maybe some sort of stipulation match. I don't know. Some cowboy Western match. I don't know. You can never know with what Chris Jericho wants to do because he has creative control of his things.
Loser leaves the saloon.
Yeah, exactly. Just yeah. It's hard to defend him sometimes, but I have to.
Do you?
No, you don't have to.
Really?
You don't have to. This is
I want to. I love Jericho, even when I was a kid. Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, because he was still around back then when you were a kid.
The last great iteration of Jericho was the beginning of the Inner Circle. We don't like this Jericho. We don't want this Jericho. I'm sorry. Sometimes there's clicks on the knob that you need to turn back. And Jericho, this Nueve, no, it's not hitting for him. The Learning Tree, it's not hitting for him. Whatever he's doing right now, it's not working for him. I'm sorry.
No, it's not working for him. And I don't know if it's because they're giving him too much power. He doesn't know what to do with it. Or, I mean, he is a consistent person on Dynamite. If it's not giving the news.
He's on every week.
He is on every week. Hey, guys. It's starting to haunt me in my sleep. Hey, guys.
I know. Isn't that great? Isn't
my
that
children
great?
will say hi,
You'll
Mom,
be singing
and I'm like,
Foggy
oh, God, stop.
in the shower soon, Katie. Don't worry. You'll be singing Foggy in the shower soon.
No, thank you.
Listen, the thing
lock the doors, bolt the windows.
Powerhouse Hobbs was just in a feud for the AEW Championship.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
And now he's not even scratching and clawing to get back there. Same thing with Swerve Strickland. He's not scratching and clawing to get back there. The only person that they are even showing a remote interest in scratching and clawing to get back there is Adam Hangman Page. This show was heavy Page tonight. Yes, heavy Page tonight. Right? It's got all of these. This is the disconnect that I see. And I hate to do the comparison, right? But in WWE, there's at least 4 to 5 people that you know that are gunning for their top championship. On both shows, you know for a fact they're gunning for the top championship.
Yes.
Because they let you know. They tell a great story about it. AEW, you would never know that Hobbs just challenged for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
It wasn't the pro. It was not their thing. It was not what they.
I don't understand why they don't do it. Like it, at least if when they had the ranking system, which you can't do rankings in a predetermined sport, at least you gave me something that I could look forward to and be like, okay, well, this person, if they beat such and such, they're in 5, they can move to 4. Yeah, I don't understand.
AEW struggles. They've tried doing tournaments, and that didn't even play out well because they get too technical with it. It's literally a case of a spoiled child running the show. He wants to do it his way and not listening to other people. AKA Tony.
Does anybody know where Wardlow is?
Yes.
I know Willow Nightingale?
I know her,
Willow? Well, we just got Willow in a backstage second tonight.
Yes, but we haven't seen her in a while.
Or was she on Collision?
It's the most random thing. It's random.
It's true.
Well,
that's sad.
Maybe that could happen.
I mean, who knows? But all right, moving on. We had some backstage talk. Cope and Jay White, but you know who
they
we
stole
have
the
to get
briefcase.
to? They stole the briefcase.
Woo!
I mean, Maria is literally walking around with an empty handcuff over it the rest of the episode. Good for them. We'll get back to that.
It's wild.
But the next big match we have, we're gonna fast forward to that, is dun dun dun.
Oh God.
MJF.
Hold on to your
Max.
bitches.
Literally, because he has none on.
Oh wow, Katie's got the action figure Max out there.
Always.
Wow.
Always. Hey, this was my birthday gift this year. I was very excited.
Wow.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. It was. I have.
Why did you take them out of the package?
Because I like to play with them. Leave me alone.
Touche.
I mean, I got Danielson. I have Moxley. He's my favorite. And then I have Orange Cassidy here. But he's still in the box because we haven't seen him and I don't know how long.
So you're going to take him out of the box when he shows up?
When he shows up.
Careful. Hey, be careful setting that Moxley action figure down. It might bleed all over your desk.
I mean, only has a cut on his head. So, yeah. No. Yes, MJF against Cody Rhodes' brother, Dusty Rhodes, one of the loyalists to AEW because he didn't jump ship. He is currently the Ring of Honor champion. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. And this was a good match. This was a good match. Okay. I enjoyed it.
Maddog, can you tell me who Dustin Rhodes is Ring of Honor tag team champion with? Because he's always carrying both belts.
I think it's Sammy Guevara, if I'm not mistaken.
It is
right?
Sammy.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think it is Sammy.
Where's he at?
He's hurt, right? He's
at home with his baby.
He's hurt, right? Is he hurt? I don't know. That's what
I think
he's hurt.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I think he just had a baby.
Oh, is that what it is?
Another one?
On maternity leave? Okay, wow.
So.
I didn't know Tony Khan grants that. Okay.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Okay. Paternity leave is a legal thing now, so maybe.
No. That's why Tate Mello, she went to go have the Sammy Guevara's baby, but I didn't know, Sammy was playing stay-at-home dad now, so good for him, I guess.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. He's tag champs with Sammy Guevara and trios
Yes.
champs with Von Erichs.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much, MDB999.
But he
But
holds all the
speaking of
belts.
that,
Just remember that.
yes. Well, you know what? Let's run to a quick commercial break. We will be right back, guys. Not the news.
Speaking of Ivy now obviously is going after the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know why she wants to. The Intercontinental Championship is just a ticket to the front row seat of Monday Night Raw. You get more chance to be on. I mean, no, seriously. You're laughing. I'm dead serious. Since she won, she's like, that's where I see her all the time. Like, does she even have an interest anymore? I saw what Ivy now threw her out on the Royal Rumble. First of all, this is how ridiculous this was. Ivy now throws her out the Royal Rumble. What is the Royal Rumble? The Royal Rumble is 30 women in that match so they can compete for a world championship. They bring the Intercontinental Championship there. Ivy now throws her out. And then as she throws her out, she does one of these and says, I'm coming for you. And that's title. So I'm thinking in my head, oh, you clearly don't want to win this match. She said it like 2 times. I'm coming for you. Yeah, that's right, for you. What's the point of you being in this match? But Lyra Valkyria, shout out to her. She was in the front row again. Right, she has a special seat with her name on it every single week, and I don't know what her interest was. I think one of our clips that we did, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, but now she's changed it. In case you didn't know, instead of this, she does this because that's all she can do when she's sitting there in the front row on Monday Night Raw.
Oh my gosh, those boys on Rated R Monday Night Raw, you know what? Considering that Raw could be up to 3 hours, it's not guaranteed. They bring it. I don't know how they have the energy. I don't know how they do it, but cheers to them. All right, guys, we're talking about MJF and Dusty Rhodes. This, I was a little nervous for Dusty. I mean, MJF is no joke. Okay, he doesn't care. 0 cares, 0 Fs when it comes to wrestling. Really, anything that gives him money, he doesn't care as long as you stay out of his way. Okay? This man does movies. He does wrestling. He sits in his backyard drinking, cooks champagne because he's still in AEW and not WWE. But, it's still champagne. What did you guys think of this match? Maddog?
Best match of the night. For me at least, man. This was the highlight, and no wonder why there was no commercials during this match because this was so great. The best highlight for me, MJF is a master manipulator, and he pulled off. I thought he was gonna do it, and then I googled it. I go, he can't do this move. And then he turned it into one of his own moves. And he's almost going to pull off the Crossroads, which he can't do because Cody owns that move. WWE trademarks that move. So he actually turned it into one of his own moves. And I thought that was just genius of MJF because it's just kind of that nod saying, hey, this was your brother's. I'm using it on you almost. So I thought that was really cool. Of MJF. And as for this match, like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, Dusty Rhodes can still go. Dustin Rhodes, he can still go. He's triple champion in every belt, I guess you could say. So, I guess, they're keeping him relevant, and it must be some sort of backstage pull, right? Him having all these belts and all this stuff. There's got to be something backstage. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with Cody leaving and him the mantle of, being a coach for everybody. I know he does a lot of coaching the wrestlers in AEW. So maybe that's it. But, he definitely went at MJF. But like you said, MJF was always going to get the better of Dustin Rhodes because he's MJF. And, nothing's going to stop him to get back to the top, no matter who he has to go through. So,
Yes.
Really enjoyed this one.
Z, what did you think?
This is laughable. Stop it. Dustin Rhodes is 55 years old. He can't still go. He looks terrible in the ring. I'm sorry. If we're going to criticize WWE for having
Jericho?
people in their mid, there's not a Jericho on WWE's roster. There's not anybody that's super old that should not be in the ring. At least their old people look like they can still go. Dustin Rhodes looks like he's one top rope jump away from having a heart attack, and God forbid that he does. But this is trash. I don't need to see Jericho. I'm sorry. I don't need to see Jericho. Jericho, prime AEW Jericho happened when the Inner Circle was there. When they died, he should have left with them. Now, Jeff Jarrett, love Jeff Jarrett. One of TNA's greatest of all time. He gave us TNA. He should not be wrestling. Keep training.
He should have left. He should have left at the beginning of the year when he made that whole shebang. Should have left then.
Mm-hmm. And Dustin Rhodes,
he wants one more run.
He should have hung on to his little brother's coattails, and maybe he would have had a spot at WrestleMania last year if you just would have went with Cody and not resigned. You literally could have had one of the greatest memories in the history of professional wrestling, helping out your brother. But instead,
I'm sure they would have loved that. They would have eaten that up.
Crazy. But I digress into the match because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, and it sounds like I'm a Debbie Downer. But no. This is MJF. This is beneath MJF. You cannot.
I was shocked when I saw the card.
Yeah, you can't give me MJF and say MJF is one of their best tools of AEW to use, and then you throw Dustin Rhodes to the wolves. Why? Because he was picking on old people? Yes, old people gotta die. This is how the world works. You gotta go. And I don't mean die in symbolistic of they're not going to be here anymore, but you need to go from the roster. You need to go backstage. Take the Christopher Daniels route and just be a producer. Be a producer. Be a trainer. Give somebody some knowledge.
Well, be a manager. I mean, we see some of the best old wrestlers that went and did that. They knew their line. So we'll see. But no, I agree with our buddy here when he talks about the wrinkles in his face paint. That face paint has ruined his face. Okay? That has straight up ruined his face. No. Okay, so this was a great match. MJF defeated Rhodes by knockout. They stopped the match. All hell broke loose.
So who's the savior? Who was the savior?
Would that have been the ref?
The show was filled with them.
Wasn't it Hangman Adam?
It was Hangman.
Staring out MJF, right? I mean, once again, going back
he came out after. He came out after the TKO.
Yeah. Going back within an hour. His third appearance within an hour. Yeah. Like, is he the only person that y'all see as the top dog that's not even like John Moxley's not even worried about Hangman Adam Page, but Hangman Adam Page still is calling to even get on his radar. Sure. Like it makes no sense. And then MJF does what MJF does when they were in the backstage segment, and he insults him, going and speaking about his alcoholic struggles, in which
I hate when he does that.
The stuff is so old. I talked about this on SmackDown as an impromptu debate between me and Mike. This type of heel work is getting played out to me. To use a person's personal struggles against them every time you see them.
Every time.
It's old.
But why isn't anyone ever going to call out MJF for being a selfish, narcissistic jerk?
You want to know why?
Nobody does it.
Because when everybody goes when I said this on SmackDown, when people go to WrestleCons and they go to all these signings, they literally will pay $1,000 for MJF to insult them.
Yep.
Me and Mike call
or
it
get a beer thrown in their face.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
They want to be insulted. This is why he will never stop.
Yep. Nope. He won't.
Yeah, it's not my cup
It
of
was
tea.
cool
but
at first. I will say it was cool at first when AEW first started. It was cool to see somebody who went against the grain, but now going against the grain, the landscape is the same. It's the same level. So you're not going against the grain anymore. You're just doing the obnoxious thing, and it's not
He is
quite
obnoxious.
obnoxious. It's kind of offensive, honestly.
It is offensive.
There are wrestling fans who struggle with those types of, you know, issues that wrestlers have overcome, and they look towards those wrestlers for inspiration, and for you to throw it in their faces, it's like, yo, remember that time Stacy was doing crack and she was banging dudes for $20 in a hotel room so she can get by and get some. And then next time you see Stacy, he's like, hey, Stacy, look at you. You're not on your back no more. Look at that.
Oh my God.
All right. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, they throw your transgressions in your face like you haven't overcame them. And I think that's a terrible route for a heel to go. It's just over. I'm over it at this point as a heel, as a fan of heels.
Yes, I'm over it as well.
I mean, heels make a show, you know, but you have to be comfortable. You can't make the audience uncomfortable. So, but I'm laughing at this comment here because when I took this man out of his box today, I literally looked at him and I said, "You are the palest MJF I've ever seen." I mean, they forgot to spray tan him because MJS's bougie spray tan. I'm glad it's faded. It's been worse. A couple weeks ago, it was straight, number, I don't know what number he is, but Donald Trump spray tan orange a couple weeks ago, and it has faded, at least to somewhat normalcy. But no, he needs his spray tan. It's part of his character. So, all right, moving on. We have these matches. We're going to go through so fast because they were blah, blah, blah matches. I mean, they did what they had to do. They made their, debut, except for the Kris Statlander one. I really enjoyed it. But we had Megan Bayne coming back. I know. There was all. Did you see the camera angles?
I said this about Toni Storm last. This woman, Megan Bayne, is a goddess. She needs to be protected. That woman is beautiful. That woman is powerful. And she knows her ring work. I'm sorry, I was not familiar with your game or how deep of a wrestling bag you have, Miss Megan Bayne, but you have gained a fan in me tonight because that woman, she's got the look. She's got a powerful look. She's got a beautiful look. And then to have her dominate her opponent and then fix Statlander come out there and they face off for the second time, that's money. That's your money. That's your money right there. To get this women's division back to where it needs to be, to where it was 2
AEW
years
is
ago,
pushing that women's division hard.
Yes,
AEW is pushing.
The problem is, do you know who Megan Bayne faced tonight?
Maya or something, right?
Yeah. Do you know?
I don't know who it is. I've never heard of her.
You know who Kris Statlander faced tonight?
Penelope Ford. I know that one.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford.
Yep. Yeah, I know Penelope Ford. Yeah, I know who she is.
Penelope just had a match on Collision versus Thunder Rosa. Actually, really good match in which Thunder Rosa is one of their top 5 best women's wrestlers on that roster.
She's older too.
She's delegated to go to Collision and start feuds with people that don't even matter. Mm-hmm. It makes no sense. But you have money in Kris Statlander. You have money in Megan Bayne. You go with it. Stop with the. I'm guessing, and Mad Dog, since you're the news guy, you can kind of steer me in a direction. I'm guessing the Megan Bayne signing was because of the issues with Camille. Whether she's hurt, whether there's actual conflict, or whether she's even on the roster. You need another big woman. Yep. In which I don't mean big in size. I mean
no. I know what you mean.
Ego.
You need a star. You need a star. And Megan Bayne was that star coming up from the Indies. I went to an indie show here. What was it? Ridgewood, New Jersey. They had her here last year. I met her. And I knew. I told my mom. I said, "Gotta go to the show. She's gonna get signed." And a year later, here we are. She got signed. Same thing with Thunder Rosa. I have a picture. You guys don't see it. Thunder Rosa. I have her on my wall back there. I met her right before she got signed. Because
That's
I know
cool.
these girls, they're gonna get signed and get big. And you know what? They have been, and they're all talented. I mean, like you guys, truly amazing. And even just watching her in a small indie show, that's all it was back then. She wasn't signed. She was doing some independent stuff. She was great back then. Okay. And I said to my mom, I said, we watch. And now, all of a sudden, here she is in AEW. And now she might be versing one of the biggest, in star power, Kris Statlander. Not biggest, like you guys said, in that time. I'm talking about star power. Kris Statlander's star power right now. She's kind of the Britt Baker heel that everybody want Britt to be.
Well, she's a powerhouse. She's a straight powerhouse.
Exactly. So this
and she's
was
one of the
golden,
top,
and they fed Megan to some jobber. I'll say that. I don't know who the other girl was, but this match was another fantastic match, and it really focused on Statlander and Megan. And I don't know if they're going to do that at Revolution or if they're going to do that, down the line. But I definitely want to see this match now for sure. Between the two of them, yeah.
Well, I mean, you have Harley Cameron, you have Monet, you have Statlander, you have the Glamour, Mariah May.
Right,
the women's division in AEW is stacked. Are they utilizing it to the best of their ability? Absolutely not.
That's a really good point.
No.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We know that Toni Storm and Mariah May are going after each other at Grand Slam on Saturday. We know that Harley Cameron will be there. It's where their money is, and hopefully they'll use it appropriately. So,
speaking of Harley, because that's the next segment.
It is.
I wanted to segue. I am not a fan of Harley Cameron, the wrestler, but the character is top notch. What she does with the Monet puppet, it's
hilarious.
One of the most enjoyable things that AEW has, right? And she can actually really sing. I thought she was just playing around, but she can really sing.
Oh, she can
really.
When she was on Collision, she was like literally not being like the obnoxious backstage singer. When she was like in the ring singing, she could really sing. But her promo tonight, she first started off and she said, I had to start learning how to wrestle somewhere. We all got to start somewhere, right? Yep. Immediately she won me over because we do have to start somewhere. And if people think that because somebody appears on your TV, they instantly should be a star, it doesn't work that way.
No,
Roman Reigns didn't become a star like that. Jericho didn't become a star like that. Orange Cassidy had to win us over. Yep. Kenny Omega had to win us over. So there's a lot of people that had to win us over because we haven't seen it. We're not familiar. And repetition is key. Yeah, she's been taking L's, but she's on our screen every single week because she's entertaining. And entertainment is the way of the world.
L's. That's what they want.
So I loved it. I still think that she's gonna lose, but I'm a fan now. I'm a fan because of it.
Well, I mean, the last pay-per-view we had 0 turnovers, I believe. So hopefully we will have finally some turnovers. I mean, I don't know. For it being World's End, it sucked.
Oh, thank you for this. Listen, this is what happened. Anna Jay come back from Japan. She has a nice little win streak, and she goes on and she wrestles Monet, has a really good outing, and then she disappears. So you know what's about to happen to Willow Nightingale? She's about to go to Japan, rack up a whole bunch of wins. She's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Title match, and she's gonna be going. She's gonna be going too. It's like, why would you send these people to Japan when you have Ring of Honor? Bring Athena up to the AEW roster. Stop.
Yeah, I agree.
They are not making sense by any means. Well, the very next huge match we have, which is going to be the Hurt Syndicate versus the Guns. I don't think I have a little promo for them. But you know what? The Hurt Syndicate is entertaining, but it's so much almost hard to watch because they're so dangerous seeming that you are scared that their opponent is going to get hurt. It's, like I said, borderline uncomfortable. Love watching them. Great guys, great wrestlers, but their overly strong appearance makes it awkward for me. And maybe because I'm a female. I don't know. But what do you guys think about this match?
How tall are you?
5'3".
Jesus, they will tower over you.
Mm-hmm.
Even Shelton Benjamin, who's the shorter one, I think Shelton is like 6'2". He's gonna tower.
Oh wow!
Last week's like
I would be shaking in my shoes. I would know. Could you imagine when I stand next to Kris? I come to like his elbow. Okay. Yeah. My husband is like 5'12", or 5'11". He won't consider himself 6 foot, but he's like a whole head almost taller than I am. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I can wear any shoes I want. I'm not complaining.
That's the great part. Growing up, that was great. If you dated a woman who could fit in your kids' shoes, Valentine's Day and Christmas and birthdays were great. We're going straight to the kids section. Straight to the kids section. Go ahead, Mad Dog, about this match.
Yes. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, hey, you here? Nothing? Okay.
I mean that's true.
No,
Mad Dog, what do you think about this match?
Yeah, moving on to the match. This one was a lot of fun. I like Hurt Syndicate. I've been saying, I've said,
I like Hurt
Syndicate. I said they're gonna go to AEW. I said everyone's like, no, they're not gonna go. They're not. Yeah, they were gonna go. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks on this show for a year. I've been saying Bobby's gonna go. Bobby's gonna get released. Bobby's gonna go, and then the show's gonna fall. And now Cedric Alexander. I'll get to this in a minute in my news segment a little later. Cedric Alexander just got released. So now you can really bring all three of them back and really have, and I know Tony's working on it. I know, TK, he's working on getting Cedric involved. And I think it was stupid for WWE releasing them because now all three of them are going to be within, and they can go after the trios when they become, to get all, they get Cedric involved in AEW. So I'm calling that right here, right now. Cedric Alexander in 90 days. I'll see you in AEW, buddy. I can't wait. But as for this match, Hurt Syndicate, always been a fan. The Guns, I'm a fan of them too, but
they fed them to the fishes.
Like it's weird, it's like I'll see them, they do some cool stuff, and then everybody like they love them and then they hate them. And then they're cheering ass boys, you know what I mean? So, for me, the Guns are but Hurt Syndicate, that's business. That's booming. Keep that going. Book Cedric. Get this deal done. 90 days. Make them the Trios champion. They will be, they will be a critical threat to the Death Riders.
Yeah, but nobody can beat them.
Can get, Cedric Alexander for the Trios. Hurt Syndicate, they can. Right.
Yes,
I think
they can beat Moxley.
I think they can beat the Death Riders. Yes. Hurt Syndicate, all three of them. If you book Cedric, if you get him in AEW, I think that can happen. Yeah, they can be a threat.
Yeah, but where do we go from there? Is he going to be a Cody Rhodes where he, retains the title for like 3 years? And because nobody can beat them.
I don't know, but I know for a fact Hurt Syndicate can definitely go after the Death Riders if Cedric goes to AEW for sure.
Yeah.
This is where I have to disagree with you, only in the sense of Lashley should not even be in a tag team. Period.
Lashley should never
I
have
get
left
it.
WWE.
I get it. He shouldn't have, but they didn't have anything for him. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't see anything on the horizon for him. I get it, but at the same time, it's Lashley can go and get his first tag team championship. Cool, that's fine. Lashley can literally destroy any main event person that you have on the scene right now. And what do you guys do with him? You stick him in a tag team. You shove him in a tag team for what? It makes no sense. And then I love Hurt Business. I love the Hurt Syndicate for sure. You then feed one of your hungriest, best top tag teams in the Guns who are organically over.
Yep.
You feed them to the Hurt Syndicate. And you saw that in the crowd because the crowd was split. The crowd was saying, we hurt people, guns up. We hurt people, guns up. But then they lose, and it's like, all right, they lost. And then out comes a tag team that could literally match the Hurt Syndicate and the Don Callis family and Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who have been running roughshod on any tag team that is not the Hurt Syndicate. So I like where they're going with this, but I think you may have given the Hurt Syndicate too much, too soon, too fast. Like it's why did Brian Cage and Lance Archer have to destroy so many people before they can even get a sight of the tag team championships when they've been together for like 2 months? And the Hurt Syndicate comes and they come in like 45 days and they're like, yeah, we hurt people. Give us a title shot. We win the title.
They do hurt people. They're intimidating. That's what they're banking on.
They do. And that's why I say they're going to go after the Death Riders eventually. Somebody has to.
Oh, they will. I'm sure. I mean, I just don't
I
know.
bet that they won't.
Somebody has to.
What's today's date? February 12th, 2025. The Hurt Syndicate will not even sniff the Death Riders. I bet you they
really
won't. I don't
believe there would be no more AEW after that. What are they going to do?
Because think about who they're already feuding with right now. They're feuding with actual trios people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The Hurt Syndicate is not that. I don't think we're going to wait 3 months to see the crumbling of the Death Riders. I don't think it's going to be 3 months. It should have been 3 days the way it's going, but
I think it's going to be a month. And
another month.
I think so, because I think Moxley's going to retain at Revolution in a month from now. So
I don't know. I think he's going to either lose it and get it back in Revolution. He'll lose it at Grand Slam and get it back at Revolution, or he's going to lose it at Revolution is how I feel. But I don't know. Speaking of Jon Moxley, we have Jon Moxley coming out and agreeing to fight Cope at Revolution. So, but then Moxley comes back and says, "No, I'm going to see you at Grand Slam." It makes zero sense what they did at the end of the show.
Yeah,
I mean,
why did you steal the briefcase in the first place?
Right. And then you not expect it. Why would not tie it to yourself like Maria did? Why do you think no one stole it for so long?
It was so dumb. Even
you took the briefcase. Okay, they came out there where you had your little spike thingy, your little spike bat.
Oh, Spike came out too. Yeah.
You did that, and all the time, and you get the better of them in the brawl,
but never opened it.
You forget to grab the briefcase, but you grab the spike. You grab
Oh my god!
You grabbed the 2x4 with the spikes in it, and forget about the briefcase. What was the point in grabbing the briefcase in the first place?
Because they for too long, Maria has had that tied to her, and they had to separate that somehow. Granted, she's got it back on her, and now she's probably going to shove it down her pants because someone already took it. It never opens, Shay. It never opened. There is nothing inside that case.
Oh my
I'm now 100% convinced. So, I don't know. But Saturday night, we do have Grand Slam. We have
I just become a Chris Jericho for guys. You know, I liked Copeland back in the day, but now I don't. I thought Copeland was cool. I bought a T-shirt. There he is. I bought a T-shirt of Adam Copeland last year. I still have it. I have it in my drawer. I wore it the other day. You know, I'm still a fan of Adam Copeland. But
Maddog,
so
I got something for you.
Great segue. That's a great segue.
Maddog, guess what? It is February. It is Black History Month, but it's also the month of love. And UPR is putting out a giveaway for anyone who becomes a YouTube subscriber and a Patreon subscriber. So become one of them, enter your name into a contest, and at the end of the month, we will be giving away this Cope t-shirt. So please pass it on, pass it to your friends, join our Patreon, get more entries. But we are so excited to have everybody join us because it is the month of love, no matter what. So yes, Cope shirt, UPR. Yes, Maddog, we totally jumped right off of what you were saying. But you know what that means? It is time for the news. Are you ready, Maddog?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll be right back. We'll do a commercial and then jump to the news, all right?
Welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
You're not putting that on a truck. I'm sorry, you're not. Past or not, you're not putting that on a truck. They will give you all the promotion you will get everything that you want, right? You will get everything that you want, but it's sort of the MVP treatment. They MVP because he went to jail. They made him cover up his tattoos for the first part of his career. They made him cover up his jail tattoos.
Well, different times.
Definitely different times.
Different times where back then everything has to be hid and reconcealed, and now the reality era and social media era of the world, they people know who these people are. So to try to say, you know what, I'm gonna make Jacob Fatu Mordecai. You know what I'm saying?
Mordecai!
You can't. You can't.
Wait, Mordecai or Malachi?
No, Mordecai, the one who was the white, supposed to be the white Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? So but my point is, you can't be a character anymore. You are what the internet knows you are, so they have to keep that. So.
Hey guys, what's up?
What do you mean?
Hi.
Well, I think I disappeared. There I am. Hi, me and everybody else. I'm back, I guess.
No,
okay.
I'm trying to...
Okay.
I don't know why you disappear.
I don't know. Why am I disappearing, Kate?
I don't know.
Okay, let's run through this real quick. So Miro has been discussed throughout multiple storylines in 2024. It's been ridiculous. I've been covering the story forever, and now a bunch of sources have said he's finally released from AEW. So Tony Khan finally granted him a release. Will they go back to WWE? Probably everyone does. You know, everyone AEW jumps ship back to WWE or TNA, and like Kris was saying, I think a couple weeks ago on our show, he was saying about in the comments saying how TNA is the up and coming, second rate show, and he's not wrong. TNA is doing really well right now. So the next thing I have here is this whole Drew McIntyre thing. This is such a mess. I feel so bad for Drew. I really do. The WWE officials apparently keep trying to change his WrestleMania match because they don't know, because of all the fan backlash going on, and they want to push him. And I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with them now because they keep changing it on us. And I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't know where it's going to go, but I am really excited to see where this Drew McIntyre stuff goes because I don't know. He could be putting a feud with anybody, and he'll work it because he's that good. This story was fake. true, fake again, and then it was, once again it was fake. There were rumors all day, yesterday, today, a couple days ago, all this stuff about Elias being signed to AEW Ring of Honor. It's not true. I know he did, I think, a one-off with AEW. I think that's what it was. He was on some sort of thing, and I think he did something with Chris Jericho on the cruise ship, right? But apparently, multiple sources have said now
Will
that he's
Ospreay was
not
there.
signed. He's not signed to AEW, like other reports have said. He's not signed to the company right now, and TNA has actually expressed interest in signing him. So, we'll see where that goes there. This next one, Sports Illustrated actually ran this story. It's that time of year. Okay, like, comment, share, subscribe if you like what I do here at UPR. Breaking news. Like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to our Patreon, which, by the way, I am a subscriber. So, and make sure you do that. Anyway, right. This next story I got here, all the wrestlers are getting released from WWE, which makes me wonder, will they go to AEW like, a lot of wrestlers end up doing? And I already called out one of them, saying Cedric Alexander will definitely go to AEW in 3 months from now. But there was also a bunch of other ones here. I'm just going to quickly go down the list. Authors of Pain, Paul Ellering, I believe it was, Sonya Deville, Blair Davenport, Elsa Dawn, Giovanna Vinci, I think it is. Vinci, I think. And the Good Brothers. I was surprised about the Good Brothers, but apparently they might go to TNA again. So we'll see where that one goes. And just, I think, announced either yesterday or today, Elektra Lopez just got released. And I know Duke Hudson got released in January, and I heard something about maybe Tony Khan wanting to sign him. Who knows? We'll see. This other story, I reported this one on last week, and it's very interesting because now they were wrong, and I have to go back again because I got to report it again. So PW Insider notes now that Alexa Bliss will be actually heading to SmackDown. They said last week she's going to be heading to Raw. None of these guys know what the hell they're talking about. But apparently they want her to work with the Wyatt Six group. And her jacket just kind of teased that at the Royal Rumble. I always thought it was going to go this way no matter what. As an Alexa Bliss fan, she was going to go, the route of, the Wyatt Six because I believe Uncle Howdy himself teased it. He kept calling her she. The door's open for she, and she wants to come, she can. So I believe that that's going to happen. The biggest thing that happened last night, I was actually watching it. I had to text. I texted our friend, the great friend Pooba. I texted him on Facebook. I said, "Did you see who actually showed up into NXT last night?" He goes, "You're talking about Ricky." I go, "Yes, Ricky Stark." Somebody saying, who's AEW going to WWE. He showed up in the crowd last night at the performance. Oh man, what a great segment. I think Charmaine asked, "What do you think about Ricky Starks going WWE?" I love it. I think it's great. He's there for business. He knows what he wants to do there. We need the goddess Alexa Bliss back. I don't know if we're gonna see that. I would love to have that character back, but I don't know if we're gonna see that. Because they want to go all, voodoo, honor Bray Wyatt kind of thing.
And it worked for the Eagles.
To do. So, but yes,
voodoo was real.
And the next one I have here is WWE. I said a couple weeks ago they wanted to do some sort of NXT show at Madison Square Garden. Actually, it's right here by me. I've been to a couple shows there already. They're doing WWE Roadblock there the day after Raw now, apparently. So they're going to do a Roadblock special event. The other thing I have here real quick is NWA legend Barry Windham. He's going to be returning to NWA Hard Times 5 in March 22nd. So that's pretty big for them. And the last thing I report here is PW Insider noted that Keith Lee was backstage at Dynamite, but we don't know, what was going on up until this point. He's not been backstage at any shows. It's unclear if he's going to be returned, but he was last week. So he's backstage. Why? I don't know. They haven't used him. He's been hurt. I think it was some sort of knee injury or something. I think that it was. But yeah, he's been hurt for a while, and I don't know when he's gonna get cleared. Hope he does soon though. I always liked Keith Lee. And then that's all I have for this week, guys. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mad Dog. Z, thank you for being our guest this week. It's been an honor and had so much fun with you. Mad Dog, as always, thank you. Is there any last minute words you guys will have?
Just follow me on social media. Z is Silent on all platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Kick. I'm everywhere streaming. So streaming, gaming, all of that. So make sure you guys follow me. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me.
All right, Mad Dog, you have anything?
Yes, for all your wrestling news, make sure you stay up on the UPR, which is the unpopular review. I think it's unpopular underscore review. I think it is on our X there, or Twitter as I call it. And then of course follow me, Matt underscore Mad Dog, for all the latest wrestling news. I post it all the time. I reposted a thing of Ricky Stark showing up last night on NXT, which I called on this show months ago. So I am so happy for that again. And I just want to say one more story here. Kris and Katie don't know about this. I just want to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles. By the way, they did end up winning the Super Bowl 40-22. I just want to shout that out there. And I also really enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. So I just wanted to throw that.
There you go.
Out there as well. So great Super Bowl. Congrats to the Eagles. And this is great for my Madden now because I get to have the Shaquan Barkley card, Hall of Fame card now. So thank you for winning. Because now I get to have a great running back. Look, there's our show.
Well, guys, these are all our shows. We have Mike on Monday night. We have Raw on Monday night. We have NXT on Tuesdays. We have us on AEW on Wednesday. We have the top 5 maybe coming back soon. And then also SmackDown review with the Z is Silent. So if you enjoyed him tonight, check him out Saturday mornings at 12:30. Is that right? 12:30?
12. Actually, I think my guess will be EC. I think EC is filling in for Vic. So
nice.
Who knows how that show is going to go?
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to. Yeah, no, Katie did yawn. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I'm going to go to bed before I embarrass myself. So, all right, guys. 12 in the morning. I know. Jeffrey, you guys, you just can't let me have it. All right. Good night, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.